Ladies and gentlemen, tithing has been preached for generations as a key for financial breakthrough, divine favor, and abundant blessing. Many have been taught that give 10% of their income guarantee them wealth, security, and supernatural provision. But what if I told you that there's a deeper truth that your church never told you? Tells you a truth that can set you free from financial manipulation and help you understand the real power of giving. Tithing never meant to be a religious burden, but a principle of honor and stewardship and faith. The problem is that many have turned it into a tool of fear, telling you that if you don't tithe, you will be cursed, your finances will dry up, and God will uphold his blessings. But does God really operate under a transactional system where he only blesses those who give a fixed percentage? Or is his blessings rooted into something far greater? The true purpose of tithing is never about money. It was about trust. It was about putting God first. Not because you are afraid of losing something, but because you recognize that everything you have comes from him. But let's be real. Many churches have twisted this truth. They preach tithing is a requirement of prosperity, while ignoring the deeper principle behind it: generosity, integrity, and a heart that gives cheerfully, not under compulsion. God is not a slot machine where you put in 10% and expect a jackpot. He's a loving Father who desires that you give out of revelation, not obligation. If you give simply because you're afraid of curses, you are not walking in faith, you are walking in fear. And fear-based giving is not what God intended. Some of the wealthiest people on earth have never tithed a dime. Yet they prosper because they understand the power of giving, sowing, and managing resources wisely. The truth is, it's not about just giving to a church. It's about being a blessing wherever you go. It's about using your resources to help the needy, support your family, and invest in things that truly make a difference. What the church often fails to teach is that financial increase is not just about giving, it's about wisdom. It's about how you manage what you have, how you invest, how you work, and how you steward the opportunity God gives you. Many people tithe faithfully, yet remain broke because they're never been taught how to handle money wisely. God's plans is not for you to manipulate it in giving, but for you to understand the deeper principle of stewardship. Yes, give, but give with wisdom. Give where there is impact. Give where lives have been changed. Give not because you're trying to buy God blessings, but because you understand that you know that you already blessed. The truth about tithing is this: it is not a magic formula. It is not a guarantee of wealth. It is not a requirement for God's love. It is a principle of faith, but it must be combined with wisdom, discipline, and a heart that truly honors God. Truly seek to honor God, not just a religious obligation. Don't be deceived to think that money alone moves God. It is faith, integrity, and purpose driven generosity that unlock doors. Let go of fear-based giving. Let go of fear-based giving. Embrace the freedom of true generosity and walk in the abundant wisdom that leads to lasting prosperity. Tithing was never meant to be a burden, yet for most people it has become exactly that. What was originally designed as a principle of honor and trust has been distorted into a religious obligation that weighs heavily on the heart and finances of believers. It was never intended to be a rigid rule that forces people into financial stress. Yet countless individuals has been made to feel guilty, fearful, and even ashamed if they're unable to make the 10% requirement. The pressure to give, not out of joy but out of fear, has turned what should be an act of faith into a source of anxiety. From the very beginning, tithing was about recognizing God as a source of all provision. It was never about a legalistic demand, but about cultivating a heart of gratitude and dependence on Him. In the Old Testament, tithing was instituted a way to support the Levites, the priests who serve in the temple, as well as the poor, widows, and orphans. It was not simply giving money to a religious institution. It was about sustaining the community and ensure that everyone's needs has been met. It was about fairness, generosity, and obedience to a higher purpose. However, over time, the spirit of tithing has been lost, replaced by a transactional mindset where people are being told if they do not give exactly 10%, as someone asks for more these days, they're robbing God and inviting financial struggle in their lives. Many churches today emphasize tithing as the key to unlock God's blessings, making it seem as though financial prosperity is directly tied to how much ones give. This teaching has led many to believe that if they tithe, they will become wealthy automatically, and if they don't, they will suffer. This is not only an incomplete message, but it also misrepresents the true nature of God. God does not operate on a pay-to-bless system. His love, provision are not for sale. If a blessing was simply a result of tithing, then every tither would be rich and every non-tither would be poor, but this is clearly not the case. Some of the wealthiest people in this world have never tithed a day in their lives, yet they continue to prosper because they understand financial principles that go beyond giving. They understand how to create, manage, and invest wealth. Now, on the other hand, many faithful tithers struggle financially, not because they lack faith, but because they lack financial literacy and wisdom. They have been taught giving alone is enough, without being given the tool to steward their finances effectively